Alright, welcome back to another
Sip
of Shakespeare. Make sure you have your book on you. If you don't have it yet, grab something good to drink. And we're going to figure out, I guess, Juliet's reaction to hearing all of the stuff that just went down, and a lot went down in scene one. Hence, we spent a whole video just on scene one.
A lot to talk about. Alright, so now we come in and Juliet's alone in her room and she has a long speech right here. And a lot of figurative language, but the gist of it is that she is waiting because, you know, she got married, she went home, so what is she waiting for? She's waiting for the night, right?
Because the night is when the ladder shall be lowered, Romeo gets to climb up, and they can kind of solidify their marriage.
Yeah. So, you know, there's allusions to Roman and Greek mythology and tons of really good figurative language, but that's the gist of it. She says she's waiting for night impatiently like a child.
Which, in a sense, she still is.
She is.
Right. We've seen her have these like impatient rants before, right? Waiting for the nurse, like, is he gonna want to marry me? And now it's like, where's the nurse with like the ladder and the plan, right, of how we're gonna make this happen.
So, bottom of the page, the nurse comes in with cords, like it says.
The cords being a ladder.
Yes,
just
she
good.
says, all right, so you have the cords, and like, what is wrong with you? Like, Juliet's like, what is wrong with you? Because the nurse has news, right?
And the nurse, remember, she likes to talk a lot, and we can't always understand what she says, right? She's not very good with her word choices. And when the nurse replies, she's almost in panic mode here a little bit, kind of, I mean, she's a little dramatic, but she says, alack the day, he's gone, he's killed, he's dead. Notice she doesn't say who.
Yeah. He's dead, he's dead, he's dead.
Right? And
So
Juliet's like,
Juliet.
what? And then the nurse starts talking about Romeo.
Yeah.
And so
Whoever would have thought
what else
of
would
Romeo?
Juliet get from this other than Romeo is dead?
Yeah. I'm waiting for Romeo. You're supposed to give me news about Romeo. I'm asking you about him. You say he's dead, and now you're talking about him. Of course, it must be Romeo that's dead.
So the nurse just said, he's dead,
Makes
oh,
no sense.
Romeo. Yes, so then Juliet is like, what are you talking about? Did Romeo slay himself? Like, you know, like, wait a second, like, tell me, like, what's going on? I need more information. And the nurse is just going on, I saw the mark, and this.
There was blood, there's...
She still hasn't
Like,
said
I saw the wound. I mean, literally for almost a whole page gives details and will not say that it's Tybalt that she's actually talking about until
But then she does say Tybalt. But she still hasn't specified that Romeo's not dead.
Yeah, she says Tybalt's dead, and so then Juliet finally is like, line 68, is Romeo slaughtered and Tybalt dead?
So she thinks they're both gone, her cousin and her husband. Finally, line 72, the nurse says, Tybalt is gone and Romeo vanished. So, okay, now Juliet is
we're
caught up
getting to
and all this thing.
And we know Romeo killed him. He is vanished. So we know Tybalt is dead because of Romeo. So we get a little bit more information finally.
Yes.
And so then Juliet she says, oh, Romeo shed Tybalt's blood, and then her reaction is serpent heart, beautiful tyrant, fiend angelical, damned saint, honorable villain. So she just like spews all these oxymorons. So just remember, oxymorons are, you know, when people are like have conflicting emotions. So why would she be feeling like, why would she call Romeo an honorable villain or a damned saint? Like, why the conflict?
Well, she just married this man, right? And she assumes he's a good man and he's nice and she loves him, but now she finds out he murdered her cousin.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a I love you but I hate you type of situation. And
she really does feel both of those things for him at the same time.
Like how do you not?
And I think that is really possible for people that you love to also feel completely conflicting emotions when they do something that you just don't approve of or you can't understand or that hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, love is a complicated emotion, and you know, and I mean, I think anytime that Shakespeare's using oxymorons, they're instance of the characters being honest with themselves because they are conflicted. Yeah. So it's usually like not a good thing, but it helps us understand like that they're just confused and she's processing all this information, right? So, you know, the nurse like shames Romeo. Like, there's no faith, no honesty in men. And she says, shame come to Romeo.
It's like all men are terrible.
Yes.
And then she asked for some booze, which I think is funny. Aquavita, give me some booze. I need something stronger.
She
Like,
does. I mean,
men are awful.
But Juliet's reaction's off. I was like, oh, great, blessed be thy tongue for such a wish. Like, you know, and she's like, am I supposed to speak ill of my husband? Like, he's my husband. How am I supposed to, you know, react to this almost? And she's like, I'm sure there was a good reason.
Well, and I love that part because she seems like she's flip-flopping, but I mean, even with like our own siblings, right? It's like, well, I can say terrible things about you, but if somebody else says something terrible about you, like, look out, I'm going to defend my brother, I'm going to defend my sister. And so it's almost like as soon as the nurse says something terrible, it's like, blistered be your tongue. Like, how dare you say that about my man? Yeah, you know, so I don't know. I think that's kind of funny that she does that there, but it makes sense. We do that too.
Yeah, and I mean, and then Juliet, like, she, you know, like you said, she's processing this. And so she says, you know, that villain cousin, like Tybalt, he would have killed Romeo. Like, you know, she does understand Tybalt, and so she does kind of get it. She says, my husband lives that Tybalt would have slain. And Tybalt's dead that would have slain my husband. So all this is comfort in a way. She's like, you know what, this is awful, but, you know, if Romeo wasn't dead, you know, like, one of the two things was going to happen. Like, Tybalt would have killed Romeo, and then I'd have dead husband.
Yeah, it's like in knowing how Tybalt is, she makes has some pretty good reasoning here of kind of what happened and how it went down, even though she didn't get the play-by-play from Benvolio like everybody else did. It's like she knows him and she knows Romeo would have died had that not happened.
Well, then she talks about Romeo's banishment, which is awful, right? She said the banishment is worse than like the murder of 10,000 Tybalts.
Sorry, Tybalt.
Yeah.
We know which
side
one
you're on.
going for, yeah.
But to have Romeo be banished, I mean, she can't see him now, right? And how will will this ladder come into play? Like, does she get to use the ladder? Can Romeo use the ladder? Because that still hasn't been solidified yet. So to think of that banishment, like, that's a really bad punishment for Romeo and for Juliet to have to deal with herself.
Almost like it's worse. It's like it would almost be better he was just gone, because then the option of being with him and seeing him wouldn't even be there. But if he's alive, then she has to deal with the heartache of like wanting to be with him. She feels like she should be able to be with him, and yet it's like, nope, sorry, you can't.
Yeah.
So she feels like in many ways that's way worse than if he had actually died.
Yeah.
Let's see, and that takes us basically towards the end of scene.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of ends.
The courts come up one more time.
The nurse says she will go find Romeo. She knows that he's with Friar Lawrence right now. So she'll try to arrange that he can still visit Juliet tonight, which would be good for both of them. And then Juliet gives her a ring, says, give this to Romeo when you see him with Friar Lawrence.
So he can come and take his last farewell. So we can at least say goodbye, right? So quick question here. We gotta kind of remember, like, you know, when we're like thinking about Romeo and Juliet, and it's like, why are they making such awful decisions? Why doesn't Juliet just say, hey, you know what? Like, I'm gonna sneak out of the house and like run away to Mantua with Romeo. We gotta kind of remember how hard it was for girls her age to. She can't just take off. You know, her dad has servants and there's people kind of not like guarding her, but she can't just. It's not as easy as it seems to like just run off.
Yeah, without anybody knowing.
Yeah, it seems like just get out of the house and, you know, take off and run. But, you know, it's not as easy as it seems.
And I wonder too, like, if there's a sense of, I mean, she is still really young, if there's a sense of loyalty still to her parents of like trying to do this the right way and trying to like make it work for everybody still, maybe.
Yeah, so it is like, there is an instance of Juliet kind of like, all right, like, let's have Romeo come and then we can at least say goodbye or talk. So, you know, there is an instance almost of her kind of being patient or trying to figure that out, which is good. So then we go right into scene 3. So now we're at Friar Lawrence's cell. So we know that Romeo is hiding out there because the nurse said that, and so now we know the nurse has been sent. So we pick right back up in scene 3.
Friar kind of starts talking to Romeo, like, Romeo, And trouble just follows you. like you just always deal with disaster. So Romeo and the friar chat for a bit. We find out Romeo's feelings of his banishment are pretty much the same as Juliet's, right? Like death would be a better option.
Yeah.
Because to be separate from my new wife, to not be able to see her, that's such a worse punishment than what death just would have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's torture, not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives. You know.
The friar, once again, though, speaks some truth into him and is like, get it together, man. Kind of like if anyone's ever said, stop complaining, like, let's count your blessings. What are you thankful for? He kind of has a truthful moment with him here, right? And he says, like, root in thankfulness. Stop being so ungrateful. This kind prince basically has saved you. Like, you should have been dead, and he's allowed you to live. Like, you're not even recognizing the mercy that he's giving you, and you're being ungrateful.
Yeah. So we do see the side of Romeo. Like, you know, there's a romantic side of Romeo, but then the other side of this is, we said, you know, they're young kids, like, having to make decisions. And this is Romeo, like, crying and like, I may as well be dead, you know.
Like, making a big scene. You get the impression, even though you can't see it here, that he's making quite the emotional scene over everything. If, like, with everything that follows, I guess, of how the friar responds, it's like Romeo's being pretty weepy.
Yeah. And he does calm out a little bit, but they kind of go through that whole thing. And then the nurse comes and gives him the message. So she says, you know, the nurse and the friar kind of compare notes, which is hilarious. It's like, so, how's Romeo? He's drunk with his own tears, like,
Blubbering guy over here.
And, you know, it's like, how's Juliet? And she's like, she's blubbering and weeping and blubbering, you know, stand up and be a man. Like, she calls out Romeo.
Yeah.
Stand
If
up
you're
and
gonna be with Juliet, like, you need to act like a man and get on your feet. So we get the sense that he's not been on his feet as he's like, oh.
So the nurse and friar, you just kind of can picture them like, I know, these kids. You know? Yep. They're just crying and crying and crying. So, on lines 115, we get to Friar's long speech, but he does the same thing, and he kind of calls out Roman, and he says, you know what, like, are you a man? You know what, you look like one, but your tears, you act, you know, you look like a man, but you're acting like a girl, like, you're crying. So, sorry, we shouldn't, you know, definitely a sexist play back then.
Think of in the 1600s, 15 and 1600s.
Women were seen as weak
at
that point, so he's making that comparison.
Well, I think we almost miss it too. It says Romeo draws his dagger.
Yeah.
Right before he's like, "Are you a man? Like, come on!" Like he's almost like, "I can't take it anymore." Like in front of.
Well, part of the
friar
reason
and the nurse.
He kind of, because remember Capulets and Montagues, he's like, if that's the big deal here, like, where's my name in my body? Like, I'll cut that out if that'll make this situation better.
It's a little extreme. I will cut the Montague part out of me. And the friar's like, hold your desperate hand, like, relax, let's put the dagger down.
It's one of many desperate moments that are coming right now. Yeah, so the friar, same thing, gets on him towards the end, you know, right around line 141. He starts telling him, like, look, you have reasons to be happy. He says, Juliet's alive. They're happy. Like, there's reason number one. You should be dead because Tybalt would have killed you, but you somehow managed to kill somebody who's a way better fighter than you. So be happy.
I don't know how, but you did, so be happy.
So be happy.
It's that rage.
Yeah, and the law threatened death. Like, the prince should have made you die, and instead he gave you mercy and exiled you. There are two happy. So he says, like, go to Juliet. We see the plan now. It's on page 69, like page 152. He says, you know what? Here's the plan. Go, get her to the left, comfort her, okay? And then go to Mantua and live until we can find a time to make known your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 1,000 times more joy. Right?
So leave now. It's okay to be banished.
Yeah.
You can say goodbye, but you have a chance to see Juliet again.
Yeah.
Like this plan will work. We have something, but we got to put it in motion.
Something that takes time. It's going to take a little patience.
So be patient.
Yeah.
Like, go see Juliet tonight. go see Juliet tonight.
Is that louder?
And then go to Mantra, and then like we will figure this out.
Mhm.
The friar tells him, like, I will help you. We'll figure this out, and we will make this all come together with 100,000 times that exaggeration.
Yes.
And the nurse is, okay, good plan. Oh, and P.S. Here's a ring I'm supposed to give you.
Yeah.
Right, this came from Juliet, so that makes Romeo feel better, right? He receives comfort in that.
And the nurse still is like comedy though, because the friar just talked for like 2 pages, and she's like, "Oh, I could have stayed here forever to listen to you talk."
Oh, nurse. Please.
And the plan is in place, right? And I guess he gives kind of this final warning: be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day, disguised from hint. So when we kind of continue into this scene where him and Juliet get to actually, see each other, that idea of like, you better get out of there before daylight breaks. That's going to be kind of a discussion, I guess, between them of
So
daylight
if you're
breaking
caught,
and how they're
going to die.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be here.
There's a big risk, so you got to watch that clock and make sure that you get out safely at the right time.
All right.
All right.
All right, join us next time.